Local mob boss decide his nephew needed your job? Is the woman you love with the wrong man? Or maybe you just know that you deserve a better life than the one you're currently living? Whatever your situation, it's clear that you're here for one reason. You're desperate to shed your sucker skin and rise to the ranks of organized crime to transcend yourself into the ultimate wise guy. Follow these few steps and you'll be on your way.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangsta-ass nigga plays his
Step
cards
1.
right.
Know your audience. Before you can start inventing your gangster self, you need to know who you're presenting yourself to, which is why knowing your audience is crucial. Think of yourself as the head of your own marketing department, and the way you present your brand is crucial in whether your self-invention is successful or not. Is your audience other gangsters, to where you need a piercing and icy smile like Vito Corleone? Or maybe you're trying to blend into a group of people like Gatsby. Whatever the case, it's crucial that you assess the situation first so you know how to present yourself. What you're presenting to your audience is what Leo Brody calls the talked of self. It's essentially what you want them to see about you, and it creates a mask that hides what he also calls the unexpressed self. This is what you're hiding from your audience. This can be aspects of your criminal life and illegal activities you're involved in, or aspects of your past. Step 2. Assume the persona. Now that you've assessed the situation and know how you need to present yourself, it's time to completely immerse yourself into that talked of self. You're literally acting the part, so you've got to own it. When assuming your gangster self, you have to absorb every aspect of it. One major portion of this is dress. Striving to be a white-collar gangster? Try a nice suit and a giant gold Rolex to really show how much wealth you have. Or for a nice throwback Thursday to the Prohibition era, add a fedora and some pinstripes. Looking more at urban crime? Though it's true that some urban gangsters like Frank Lucas and Stringer from The Wire tend to dress in more of the businessman style, for the most part the fashion of urban crime tends to be more relaxed. Baggy pants, big t-shirts, hats, and things of that nature. Attitude is another huge portion of assuming your gangster persona. Every gangster has little idiosyncrasies in their personality that make them unique. For example, white-collar criminals like Gatsby and Belfort tend to be incredibly charming. Gatsby uses this charm to reel in his guests, Belfort uses his charm to get himself out of sticky situations, as well as get his clients to give him money on Wall Street. If you've decided that you want to enter into the world of white-collar crime, you should try to be as devilishly charming as possible. However, if your audience is other gangsters, your attitude may need an adjustment. For example, Vito Corleone was known as a fair don to people he worked for, but they also knew not to cross him. The same goes for gangsters like Michael Corleone. His audience was also other gangsters, and they knew that he wasn't afraid to get down and dirty. If your audience is other gangsters, this may be the attitude you want to get across. Whatever attitude it is, you need to own it in order for it to be successful. Step 3. Don't let anyone burst your bubble. This is the most crucial step in your entire gangster self-invention. Do not, under any circumstances, let anyone see past your persona. All gangsters who have fallen in the past have let people see past their persona. Jordan Belfort's recklessness got in his way. Gatsby revealed himself to Tom. Tony Soprano got axed just by eating a bowl of spaghetti and not having his guard up. As Borshow says, no convention is more strongly established than this. It is dangerous to be alone. What he means by this is when you expose yourself, you make yourself incredibly vulnerable, and there will always be someone there waiting to take your seat. Always. Letting someone puncture holes in your talked of self to see your unexpressed self is almost a guaranteed chance of your empire crumbling. To conclude, you need to know your audience, assume your persona and completely own it, and not let anyone see past your image. Following these 3 steps can ensure that you can invent yourself from sucker into ultimate wise guy. But be warned, if any of these steps are not followed correctly, it can almost ensure the crumbling of an empire. Now, go out there and do some illegal stuff. Yeah.